Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. It's your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. 13, dropping hot beats for the city as always. So please make sure you guys keep up with his latest projects because he always got some new fire for you guys. So today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of want to just take a small step back. And for this episode, I'm going to call it Take a Moment to Reflect. So as you guys know, you're going through life is happening, but a lot of times we don't ever stop to take a moment to reflect for how far we came. Like one of my funny things that I love to hear in movies, definitely I was watching like Matilda the other day, was how there are adult characters in the movies that make it feel like they don't remember hard times, or they don't remember when they were a kid, or they don't remember, how far they came to get to where they are right now. And I always find that like a very interesting concept, because we always realize that the villain of the movie is the one who can remember, or not like the true villain of the movie. Usually the true villain is the one that can't let go. But a lot of times, the villains in the goofy movies are the ones that can't remember their past or can't remember being a kid, and they're just cold-blooded all the way around, And that kind of had me thinking about how many of us are out there not reflecting at all, like we're not sitting back and really counting our blessings and seeing where we came from, So today I kind of just want to have everybody take a moment and just reflect on your life right now. And one, see how far you've come. Like just compare yourself from this year, from last year. If I would compare myself, it would be at this time last year, I was pretty much unemployed, just starting a new job, not sure if this job was going to be for me. I was scared, I was worried, I didn't travel too much, I was just, struggling through life actually. I was driving this 1986 Chevy El Camino all over the place, and it's hot in July Vegas weather, and it's just like, I look at myself now and it's like, man, I've came so far just within that 1 year. From that 1 year time period, I went to Kansas City, I went to New York, I was able to go to Cali for a wedding, I was able to go to the San Diego Zoo, and that's just all because of work, I was able to get a job, or the job that I'm in, I went from being insecure and nervous and feeling like I'm not enough to feeling like I'm a great part of the team and knowing that I'm a valuable aspect to my team, and just feeling like I actually belong where I belong. And the new school year is coming up, and I'm nowhere as near as nervous as I was last year. Like last year when the new school year came up, I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I had to have my teammates call and help me do stuff, like just go and present for me so I can see how you present, because I'm so curious, because I'm scared I'm gonna present it wrong or I'm gonna say the wrong things. And now I have this set of confidence of I've been doing it for so long, even though it's only been a year, but that 1 year has made me so much more confident in what I'm doing. I feel so much stronger in my path and everything. let's go to the cars. I had a great, amazing car. I got into a car accident, and then I was back to drive my grandfather's car around the city. It had no AC. It would overheat. It's Las Vegas. Right now, as I'm, sharing this message, it's already 100 and something outside. And, you don't want to drive around that. That thing sucked. And then I had to drive from my house to UNLV. And on the freeway, that right there is a 30-minute drive. So just imagine having to take the surface streets and having to be in the slow lane, and people are constantly passing you up, and you don't have no AC or no tint on your windows, so you just feeling the whole beam of the sun. And by the time you get to work, I had to change my shirt when I got to work because I was sweating so hard. So I had to literally bring a towel with me and a change of clothes so I don't have to walk into the office sweaty. And now look at me. I'm driving a 2020 Nissan Murano with AC in the seats and a dual sunroof and bass speakers and all this stuff. And it's like, man, I've came so far within that 1 year, and it makes me appreciate everything that I have right now. It makes me appreciate this car I have, makes me truly appreciate this job and the people in my life. Last year I kind of felt like I was a little secluded, and I was beating myself up a lot for not being one with the family all the time, or not always showing up to events or whatever the case may be. But this year I finally got to a new mindset, and just, really got to the point of, if you're going to love me, you're going to love me whether I'm this, that, or the third. Yes, I'm going to do better, but at the same time, I'm not going to stress off of people pleasing, and I really start to learn to please myself, and I start to realize how much peace I have from pleasing myself compared to last year, where I didn't have that peace, and I was stressed out, and I was feeling bad if I didn't show up to an event, or didn't make a phone call, or forgot to return a call, or didn't check in, and that right there really had me going crazy. But now, as I sit back and relax, I'm starting to see like, man, I'm not stressing off of that stuff no more, and I'm so proud of myself for not stressing off of that, because that type of stress was keeping me up at night, having me do things I didn't want to do, having me places I didn't want to be, and try to please people that I didn't need to please, But that right there, I don't think I would have ever actually stopped and realized how much I've grown if I haven't just sat back and reflected, it can be the small things. I remember last year was the first time I tried to make a pizza, and now, shoot, my at-home pizzas are amazing. I love to make me a pizza, boy. I tell you that I am a chef, But, it's just that reflection that we need to do, and just take that step back, let's go farther. Some of us, let's probably go back to our childhood. Let's reflect back to where we were, what our childhood was, When I was younger, when I used to go to my mom's house, I didn't have a room for a very long time. A lot of times I slept on the couch, I slept on the floor, and I have no problem with that at all. But now I'm to the point where it's like, man, I came so far. I'm not that little kid no more that used to sleep on the floor, sleep on the couch, having to boil hot water, having to boil water just to get purified water in the house. There's so many things in life that we went through that it's like, one, I made it through it. I made it through that stage of my life, that phase, being in college and being hungry and being poor and, trying to do what you have to do for education and having to ask people money to put gas in your car or just get yourself a little snack for dinner. I'm no longer on that level now. I'm to the level now that I'm giving out money. People are asking me for funds, and I have no problem giving it to them because I got it, and it's still coming in, and it continues to flow in because money flows to me freely, copiously, and endlessly, And back in the day, I used to didn't think that, let's get real deep now. When I was younger, I used to think there was no God. I used to think God didn't love me. He used to forget about me. These things, I'm just a soul out here walking lost pretty much. But as I started, reading the Bible, starting to learn how to be a better person, personal growth, I start to realize that, everything I went through was all a part of his plan to make me as strong as I am, Like, a lot of people, they go back and they blame their parents for scarring them and messing their life up and things like that. And I used to do that. But now I finally got to the point of, if my parents weren't the way they were and didn't raise me the way they raised me, I would not be where I am right now. So I'm thankful for all the hard times that I went to, the struggle life, the attitudes, the headaches, the arguments, the debates, whatever it may be. I believe that all of that has made me into this amazing person I am now. And I couldn't trade that for the world, you know, because I think back and think like, you know, what if my stepmom didn't check me when I had an attitude, you know? I'll probably be a more meaner person and did not care about my attitude, or not even stop to think about, am I speaking this with a calm voice, or am I speaking this with an attitude? You know, that's a real thought. And I think that I would never have got to that level if my stepmoms would have never got on me for every time I had an attitude and raised my voice when, you know, it wasn't appropriate or acceptable at the time, you know? And it's things like that that it just makes you really truly appreciate life and all that you went through, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, the scary, everything, because it really built you to where you are. And it just makes you feel appreciative, one, and then two, it gives you hope, because it lets you know now that, you know, what I'm going through right now, this is not the end of it, you know. This too shall pass. Like, this is not going to hold me back. This isn't going to stop me. If anything, I know now everything I'm going through right now is just making me stronger and stronger and stronger. And by the time I get to the future, I'm gonna be so strong, it's gonna be amazing, you know. Like, I can't wait to become one of those old men that just don't let nothing get to them, and they're just, you know, they've been through so much life that they understand life, and they just flow through life with this sense of, you know, I'm not about to let you shake me, bother me, or anything like that, you know. This sense of just not even pride, but just this sense of ultimate peace, knowing that I know who I am deep down inside, and I know that everything I went through has made me to who I am, and this is what made me strong and made me unique in this amazing world we have, you know. So that's one thing I want to talk about today. Is just, let's stop, take a moment to reflect and to remember where we came from, and also in that same moment, you know, help put yourself in other people's shoes, you know. So the other day I went to the gas station, or not the gas station, went to Smith's, and there was some young kids outside selling candy, you know. And it could have been one of those where it's like, no, I'm not buying no candy from you. You shouldn't be selling candy on another store's premises. But it's like, no, I understand where these kids are coming from, because I was used to be that age, trying to sell candy for the football team, the baseball team, the track team, you know, trying to sell gift cards, knocking on doors and stuff like that. And it's to the point where it's like, I'm not going to be an asshole and not buy nothing. Even if I don't have the money to buy nothing, let me still donate to them, because I know what they're doing out here, you know. And you have to sometimes stop and put yourself in those people's shoes and understand that you were in that place before, you know. And how would you have wished an older person would have treated you while you were in that place? And, you know, you do that now. You be that person and give them that space, you know. Like, there's times where I'll see a kid at the gas station ask for, you know, money for the bus stop, and I'll just give them to him, probably more than he needs, but I can understand what it is to be in that place trying to get a ride home. You're not causing no trouble, but people are looking at you like you are trouble. And it's like, no, you're not trouble. I understand you're not trouble, bro. You're just out here trying to get to where you need to be. But unfortunately, you know, these perceptions of life have made us look like this. And I understand it. And you know what? I'm not going to be that guy, because I know how it feels to be in your shoes. Here, brother, let me help you out. Let me get you where you need to be, you know. And I think things like that are just truly, truly amazing, you know. That's why I do the stuff I do in the schools, because I can put myself in their shoes and understand what it is to be a student that, you know, you're doing good and you know you're smart, but you don't know where to go or how to get there or who to talk to get there, you know. So that's why I'm like, hey, come holler at me. I know what it is to be in that spot. Definitely your parents don't know how to guide you correctly and you have to find the guidance from somewhere else. I'm here to help you out with that guidance. I'm here to do whatever I need to do to help you out with that. Like, you guys would be flabbergasted if you realize how many students I'm texting on the side, even though school is out and these seniors are already graduating. I'm still helping them out because I can understand what it is to, you know, walk out of a certain area in life and all of a sudden that help is no longer there to assist you, you know. So now it's like you're out here walking blind, and I'm like, no, I don't want you to do that. You can still text me, I can still guide you, I can still assist you, you know. Maybe I can't do everything face to face, person to person, but I can see what I can do over email, over phone call, over text message. I'm still here to help you out because I understand what it is to need the help, but the help you had is no longer there because now they're focusing on other help, you know. They're focusing on other things, on other people, you know. And my mindset is no man left behind. I understand you moved on, but if you have the confidence enough to still reach out and ask for help, I'm here for you. I got you, you know. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was my today's message. Let's take a moment and just reflect on life. Let's see how far we came. Let's appreciate how far we've come, how much we've done, how strong we've grown. Take a step back and look to see where you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. As a child, maybe you somebody who probably didn't grow up with shoes and now you got shoes on your feet every single day. Appreciate that. Be happy, because remember that time where you didn't have it. And I promise you, it's going to make this time so much better. Like right now, I'm about to get up and make some breakfast, but I promise you, I remember a time in college where I woke up and had no breakfast food in the house, and I was hungover and I was hungry and I didn't know what to do, and I had to get up and go buy food. And that lesson taught me this amazing lesson to always keep food in your fridge. Now I got so much food in my fridge, I don't know what to do. But this is the time that I've been dreaming about, the time that I've been waiting for, the time that I've been hoping for. And it's like, I've made it, but I won't realize I made it unless I step back and look to see where I was, because you'll forget where you were if you forget where you are, if you don't ever really step back and remember where you were. Because if you can remember where you were, you'll appreciate where you are so much more better, so much better. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that message resonated with you guys today. It kind of came off the top of the dome with some small notes, but it's been something that's been sitting on my heart for a little while, and I just want to share it with you guys. So with all that being said, I hope you guys do take a moment to reflect, take a step back. If you guys want to share some stories with us, you already know you can reach out to us over email. Everybody out there that's sponsored and sending us, the money every month, we truly appreciate you guys. We're actually working right now to get us some more equipment and trying to find us a dedicated studio so we can bring you guys some live video as well as our amazing audios. We know you guys love our voice, but you want to see our face, so we're just trying to do what we can to get a little better, because last year we were in a whole different way, and right now I'm loving where we are right now, where we're going. So thank you guys all so much for your continuous support. We hope you guys have a great day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming.